First thing I obviously want to put out there is we've been missing for a while. We've been gone. Uh, I wouldn't say really House of Saints in general, but the night show. And for those who don't know me, and have actually picked up because of the Cherry Pod, which by the way is an amazing series. It's hosted by Anai, Nana, and Ari. It's a really cool concept. Go check it out. It's a all girls podcast. We were gone for a little bit. No explanation. I know I am very big on consistency is key, but here I am not being consistent. I just felt like we needed better stuff, better equipment. We're 4 seasons in, and we still have the same shit from season 1 or season 2, actually. I feel like we just needed a change, and I didn't want to just say, yeah, we're gonna get better stuff, and then not do it, because I feel like there's a lot of that going around right now. The whole I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and just never do it. So we just went ahead and did it. We have a great team. We have a great, a great environment between all of us. We have some really cool stuff coming. But for today, for this episode, I just wanted to be about this episode and about WOWBOYWEST. Amazing guy. He's behind some of the designs from Throw to Tilt to Antuano. It's just, this man is talented. So I want you guys to go ahead and give a round of applause and just a warm welcoming to this new era of the night show, which, by the way, no longer seasons. I know we were doing season 1, season 2. We are no longer doing seasons. This will be a continuous thing. And whenever there is no guest, we're going to talk about other stuff. So, hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys stick around. And to all the new people, I thank you for giving us a try, giving us a chance. And see you soon.
So, WOWBOYWEST. What inspired the name?
So I actually went through a bunch of names. I still all wanted it to be around like a Western theme. So like at first I was called the West, and then I went to West, and then from West I went to West Art Collectives, and then I went to WOWBOYWEST because it was supposed to be like Cowboy West, but I'm like, that's way too on the nose. And I feel like WOWBOYWEST has like a bunch of meanings. Like for me, it's like split. Wild Boy is like the person, which is me, and then like West is the location and like the scenery. So, um, in a way, I want to like what I want to do for people is like wow them, So I put Wild Boys, like oh that's Wild Boy, and yeah, that's mainly where it came from. And like I think I was coming home from somewhere, and I just kept saying it in my head like Wild Boy West, like Wild Boy West. And I remember also like looking it up. I'm like, I hope no one took it because like I really like this name. I couldn't find anything on it, anything on the internet. Like it just blanks came up. And I don't know why that like clicked in me. Like okay, like this is gonna be my name. Like I feel like it's a unique name, and so yeah, ever since then I stuck with it, and yeah, I haven't let go. I'm not letting go of it ever.
Yeah, that's a really cool name. And then now it's like your whole logo,
Yeah.
honestly. So, on record, you have 80 designs out. There might be more.
I got some in the vault. Yeah.
You have. I know. I'm pretty sure you have some on the vault. Some that maybe you threw away. You were like, oh, maybe another one, whatever. But on record, there's 80 plus around there.
Yeah.
If you had a favorite one, which one would it be?
Oh man, that's so hard. I really like. There's this one. It's between two, cause one of them I drew and I have like half a robot face, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And there's smoke coming out. Like that one might be my favorite because that's me as a little kid, and like I don't know, it has some meaning to it. And like the backpack I'm wearing is a little frog backpack I used to wear when I was a little kid. And so like even like the whatever I was wearing there and how I looked and everything like that was just me as a kid. And then I put like my face, like all robotic because I feel like in a way I feel like I'm working like a machine. Like I'm always designing, I'm always doing stuff. And yeah, I think that's my favorite. And also the colors in it, I got it from Dragon Ball Z. I just like the aesthetic. Like there was this one scene, forgot what happened, but like I really like the colors of that scene. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use this palette for
Nice.
this design.
The design.
Yeah.
Nice. So you like anime?
I like some anime. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I know it's like the most basic one, but I like Attack on Titan.
Attack
a
on
lot.
Titan.
Yeah.
Would you believe me if I said we've never watched it?
Y'all never watched it?
Never. I think
Y'all watch anime though?
the first anime we watched was Naruto. It was
Uh,
Naruto. Everybody watched Naruto at one
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
and then Shippuden, Cowboy Bebop, which is my favorite anime.
Mhm.
I think I've had a discussion like with other people or just with myself. I don't know what my favorite anime is, either Naruto or Cowboy Bebop,
Mhm.
but I think I can say right now Cowboy Bebop is probably
Cowboy
my
Bebop?
top anime.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z growing up and
Exactly.
Pokemon. You consider Pokemon as anime?
I mean, I guess like technically it is animated, but I've seen people say like it's not an anime. So like I don't really know. I've watched it a couple times, but
I think growing up, and yeah, I think it was um, considered an anime. And then
yeah.
I would have to say a little bit of forgot what the name of it was. Don't know, but Attack on Titan. I heard it's good. Never watched it.
Dude,
So
just watch the first episode. I feel like that like makes or breaks it. Like if you're into it, like I feel like a lot of people that I've told about it, like just watch the first episode, cause like it gets crazy off the first episode, and then like you just want to know what happens next and keep going and keep going. That's how I was like before. I wasn't like a big anime fan, and then my older brother showed me uh like the first episode, and I was just like I was instantly hooked on it. But yeah,
I might give it a look. Maybe free time. I know right now we're big into like Star Wars right now. So
mm,
there's like too many series just getting piling up. Take it
yeah.
slowly.
Hmm.
Um, so tell me about Travis Scott. How does how does he inspire you in all this? Because your latest design, well, one of your latest designs was Travis Scott inspired.
Yeah.
Was it because of Utopia?
Yeah, so I like to do stuff um like inspired. So like I remember that day it dropped, like I was drawing. Like I started the design and I kind of took like the aesthetic of whatever he was putting out. Like it's just a lot of like I guess creepy stuff. Like not like how it was in Astroworld, like that aesthetic. And I really like that stuff. Like when it's just like not normal looking, like just not clean. So I started the design earlier that day, and what I like to do is like listen to the music, and it just kind of like fuels like the inspiration or whatever. So I remember I was sitting like and listening to the album, and I was also drawing at the same time. So like I was, I guess, in my head reacting to it, like giving it a first listen, but also like drawing at the same time. So yeah, I mean, not only with Travis, but like with other music, they'll like it usually like fuels designs and like puts kind of inspiration in my head, and I get these images, and I just start designing, and it usually in my head it's one way, but once I start drawing, it's like it just forms into something else, and then I put the video out, like you could see how it's kind of different at
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
and then came to what it was, but
I think was that the same case for Pink Tapes?
yeah, um, yeah, it was a completely looking design before that. Um, but I low key like the first design, but I think I was thinking about it too much. Um, so you know, I went with that one. With he's like he had the pink American flag as a cape, and like he's kind of flying over it with the pink crystals. So, yeah, yeah. I also listened to the Pink tape, you know, just to get some inspiration on that
Yeah.
too.
I think that's the one that I saw, and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty fucking dope. You know, like any color that you work with, because you work with a lot of neutral colors, a lot of green, brown. Um, I've seen you throw like red there, you know, but for you to like incorporate pink and make it look nice, I was like, this guy knows what's up. Like, you know what you're working with. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, you know, hey, I have a commission job, you know, like I want this and that. You got it. Like, have you, I don't know if I should ask this because it might ruin, not ruin, but it might kind of like, oh, the thought I have of you. But have you ever backed down of a design? Have you ever
Uh,
said I can't do it?
no, I don't think so.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm fucking talking
Like
about.
even in my head, if it's like challenging, it's like I like it. Like even if it's challenging, like I've recently did a design. I can't speak too much on it because I wanted to release first.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it was very realistic, and I really don't really do like realistic type stuff. But like in a way, it's like learning for me. Like even if it's a hard design and I don't, you know, I know I'm gonna have trouble with it. It's like you know, I don't want to give up on it. Like it could be a learning curve for me. Like it could put a style on me. I could use whatever I did here and like future designs I do. But yeah, I haven't backed down on the design yet.
Yeah, I figured I was like, nah, like I'm sure you won't. Like, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
you got that shit. Imagine you did. I'm like, oh well, it's canceled.
Wanna lose me?
Let's just go ahead, bro. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, get out.
So, tell me about Wild Boy Plant. What is that?
So Wild Boys Plant is kind of like I want to do more physical work because Wild Boy West is like a lot of digital work, and like I recently got back into like watercoloring. Like before, I used to hate watercolor. I was like, man, this is way too hard. But in college, like I don't really do watercolors, but in this one college class, we had to do watercoloring, and I started doing it. And I'm like, wait, it's actually like not that bad, and I continue to do it because I think throughout that semester we had to do it, and I was like, you know, I really like doing this, and I feel like I can make cool designs using watercolor as well, not only um, you know, digital stuff. So like Wild Boys Plant is like a separate thing of like either stuff I already created or just like paintings I do. So I don't know if you see my recent one. I made like a clay figure of Travis
Mm-hmm.
Scott. I made that in 2020, and it was actually on my Wild Boy West page. Like one of the first things I've done, but I was like, I kind of edited it a little bit and then, you know, put my, you know, style onto it. But yeah, Wild Boys Plan is also that, but I also want to put like clothing on there as well. Like, I've seen artist page like where they have their main page and then they have other stuff like, oh, I'm working on, kind of like a spam in a way, but like it's more like, oh, I don't feel like this is worthy enough or like fit onto Wild Boy West, so it's gonna be on Wild Boys Plant.
Okay, yeah.
People want to see it, they want to see it, you know, I'll repost it, but it kind of gives like a different look on what I can do.
I think I can relate to that a lot because lately, like that's what I'm doing right now. There's, you know, House of Saints, which started off just me, you know, but now there's 20 of us, you
Yeah, you have
know,
a lot.
and it expands to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a good amount of us, you know. So now I'm kind of doing my own stuff, like oh, whether it's photography or like just regular random pictures or maybe a shirt or whatever, and that's under Slick Sloth Saint.
Ooh,
So say that fucking 3 times.
slick sloth. Six.
Slick, yeah, Slick Sloth
Slick,
Saint, Slick
Slick
Sloth
Sloth
Saint,
Saint.
Slick Sloth Saint.
Dang.
So I was really thinking. So do you know who David Bowie is?
Yeah, I know.
So you know he has different personas.
Yeah, yeah,
I I feel like that's how I kind of live my life. There's Saint, there's Space Cowboy, there's the old one, there's RJ.
yeah. Mhm.
So there's like that's how I am. Then now there's Slick Sloth Saint.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's just my personalities, my different personas. Being creative in a way.
Mhm.
So I feel you on that. I want to release stuff that's kind of not House of Saints,
Mhm.
because that's a whole different road, and I kind of want to be like, okay, let's do this, and it will be worthy on this one. Let's do it over here.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can really relate to you on that one. It's
Yeah.
fucking, it's insane. It makes you feel like you're working double, but you're
Mhm.
not.
Yeah,
You
it's
really ain't.
still you at the end of the day.
Yeah. Um. So the thing about Throde, to go back with Throde, working on his you said his first one, the first one was the Valentine's one.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Um, then your latest one being Lumi, Fisherman Lumi.
Mhm.
Do you see more work with Throde in the future?
There is stuff I've done. I mean, I won't speak, spoil it, but there's definitely gonna be more stuff. Um, I really appreciate him, like, working with me and, liking my stuff. Um, but yeah, there'll definitely be, more stuff in the future. I mean, I already have stuff. Um, I don't know what he's gonna do with it, but hopefully in the future, we still continue to work together. I love to like any work is good for me. Like I love it. Um, but yeah, I actually have a little story about like the Valentine Day one, cause like I saw him as like a big person. So I remember for that design, dude, I stayed up like kind of all night just doing it and like sketching it, cause I was like, man, this is like gonna it's like a big a first impression of me, like um not only for him but also people who see the shirt, like, oh, that's definitely like different from what he usually has. So I wanted it to be like, okay, let me do something different from what he usually has, and like grab people's attention, like do something new. And yeah, dude, like I grinded on the design. um Yeah, I worked like hours on it, like just to perfect it, but yeah, it came out very nice. But yeah,
Man, bro, first impressions are important. So
very,
kudos to you, man. That's
yeah.
insane. We're gonna take a small little like 1 minute break.
Mhm.
Cameras reset. We'll be right back, guys. We'll be right back. We're back. We had a little break. Um, fuck, we were talking about the throw on the Valentines and all that. You mentioned clothing. You're wearing a hat. Um, did you ever release that, or is that just like for you?
So like right now, like I'm working on like a drop, but I don't know if you see my old drops and how they look, but I really want to get into like kind of like simpler designs and like actual like maybe pieces in a way. Um, cause every drop I feel like I just want to either elevate it or do something different. So like I've never like this is my first hat that I've had that's corduroy. So I don't really usually wear corduroy. Like I release trucker hats, and I want to just bring something different to my brand and the table. So yeah, this is one of the hats that I'll most likely be releasing maybe before the end of the year. Um, there's brown. I have a gray one, and then I made a trucker hat too with this logo on it. But yeah, I definitely want to release stuff like before the end of the year. I still like working on like what designs I want on a shirt, because I just wanted to like grab the most attention in a good way, not in a bad way. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, I'm still working on it. Like I have my commissions, and then I also like slowly work on my own stuff as well too.
You currently stopped doing commissions, right?
I'm still doing
Are you
them.
still doing them?
Yeah, I have like I think I've recently done 4. Like I want to kind of I'm trying to put like a limit on it, cause like I remember one time at one point I was working on 6, and I went from um I would like draw one and I'll go from like artboard to artboard, just kind of like updating the commissions. But that's one of the things like I like figure out as I'm going, cause like I'm still kind of like new to commissions. Like I'm not I wouldn't say like really like the most educated, and like there's definitely stuff I could do different, but one of the main things is like kind of like limiting myself and not putting too much stress on me.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I'm still working on commissions.
Well, one thing's for sure that this year has been your biggest
Oh
year of
yeah.
commissions, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, um, I need to count. I honestly don't know how much. I think at the end of the year, I'm gonna post it. I don't want to post some because I don't want to like spoil someone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if they're gonna drop, but definitely at the end of the year, I want to have like a recap, um, of all the stuff I've done. Cause yeah, this year has been a lot of commissions, and like yeah, really blessed for that.
I think this year, I've seen or we've seen that you've dropped. I've seen one, two, three, five. I've seen five, total of five. I know there's probably out more,
Mhm.
but out of the people that I follow, I've seen five. They've dropped, so I can talk about them.
Yeah, yeah.
First one being the Valentine's one. That
Mhm.
was February of this year. The second one that I've seen was To Each His Own by Antoino.
Yeah.
Third was the tilt the
Oh
tilt
yeah.
design for their grand opening.
Mhm.
Fourth one was technically is not out, but it's the one that I was like, hey, like, you mind, designing?
Mhm.
Um, and then the fifth one was Fisherman Lumi.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like just in a span of a couple months, like I've heard your name and I was like, yeah, like this guy is working, man.
Yeah.
There's this um, there's this design that well, we talked about it. We've teased it for many fucking for for since the beginning of the year. Since the
Mhm.
beginning is since we started.
Mhm.
Uh, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like I try, but it's like nah, it's not coming out. And I feel like you would kill it, honestly.
Mhm.
Um, it's I'll tell you right now, we'll meet it whenever. I guess I could do that here.
Mhm.
And then I've tried so many like designs and then like no, let's throw it out. Should we go with like the modern one? Should we go with like how like the basic one where it has the name
Mhm.
of the club or whatever? Should we do that? But I was like, nah, I want something crazy. I want something like that's cool, well detailed, but not too crazy, but something that stands out. I
Mhm.
feel like you would honestly kill that, especially because you work with a lot of browns and you work with a lot of like neutral colors. I
Mhm.
feel like this on a brown tee would be cool as fuck.
Mhm.
But we'll talk about it more later on.
For
This is
sure.
definitely for like next year.
Yeah.
Just for
Yeah.
like maybe January, February for a March release,
Uh-huh.
maybe. Because we do designs. Most of the designs are in house.
Mhm.
Um, well, no, all designs are in house.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've reached out like, hey, like, I want a design made, by somebody else. Somebody knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
So we see how that goes. I'm pretty sure that's gonna do nice because the whole team saw it and they were like, yo, like this shit is sick. It's insane.
I'm
So to
glad to
see it on a
hear.
shirt, that would be pretty dope. Honestly, that'd be sick as
Yeah,
fuck.
for sure.
Um, you have big plans. I don't want to say nothing. We talked about it, but you know, you have big plans for this year. Hopefully, by the end of the year. Um, do you want to speak on that, or you don't know yet? I'm not sure.
I could speak on it. Just like I'll give a brief. I mean, one big thing I want to do is like drops. I mean, my drop is one main thing, and then also I want to get into pop-ups, and Recently, I got hit up to like potentially do a pop up at a, not this year, but next year do a pop up at a festival. Um, like I don't know too much details on that, but yeah, I think the main thing is just like um, whatever I'm gonna put out as far as like clothing or stuff that has to do with me. Like also, I think another thing is like I'm also working on a website too. Um, Before it'll be kind of like I don't know, I use like the default website to like design it, but I want to like put more, thought into it and put more in like time and effort into it. Um, 'Cause that thing was mainly like, oh, like this is a platform I put my clothes on. So I want to work a little more on that. But yeah, hopefully, I could work with someone even like really big, like a really big brand. But yeah, we'll see. See
Yeah.
what happens.
Hey, man, never say never. You never
Yeah.
know. I just said
Yeah.
never. But no, man. To wrap it all up, is there anything you want to say to anybody out there? Maybe somebody who's trying to do the same thing you are. Any words of inspiration, words of hate, maybe whatever you want to say.
Honestly, like if y'all have like a thought in your mind and you're just scared to like put it out, just put it out there. Like the main thing is if you're happy with it. Like the main thing I kind of like struggle with is like doubting or if people would like it or not. But like it's your design and it's like if you like it and you feel like strong and you stand behind it, just put it out. Um, yeah, that's the main thing. And like also, you know, just get out there and like get inspired by a lot of stuff you see. Like anything could be inspiration. Uh, Whether it's like nature or just something you see like in a book or something. Just anything is inspiration, and use that to your advantage. Um, but yeah, the main thing is just be creative. You know, just do whatever makes you happy, basically. But yeah.
Well, pretty sure they appreciate that. I'm sure they're glad that because this is your first podcast.
Yeah, it's the first podcast. Yeah.
And what did you think about it?
I really like it. I mean, when you first told me, like, I was a little nervous. That's usually how I am. Like, I get nervous about stuff, and then once I'm into it, I'm like, oh, this is fine. It's very chill. Uh, but yeah, like, all this is cool. Like, House of Saints, very cool. Y'all two are cool people. I really like this and what y'all doing. But yeah, I really like the podcast because I like watch a lot of podcasts. So it's pretty cool to be on one now.
He sounds like we have a gun on his head, and he just making sure
Yeah,
say
it's
that.
back there.
We don't. But no, man, I appreciate you coming through. I was really excited. One point I felt really like discouraged, but now that I see you here and now we're back doing this shit again, it's like hell yeah, bro. Like I just want to keep on going. I'm excited for the next guest now.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate you coming. And hopefully we can do something later on, something
Sure,
cool,
sure.
something not cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is WOWBOYWEST, and this is Saint from HOS signing off. Thank you again, and see you guys next week.
Bye.